Okay, so hello everyone, welcome to the lecture 6 of this Python series, and in this lecture we're going to learn about conditional statements. And in the previous lecture we have learned about how to deal with the strings in Python. So in this lecture we'll be learning about all the conditional statements like if else, and if and else. So in that way, and let us just so in the previous lecture we've discussed about how to make strings that we can make in single quotes or double quotes or triple quotes, and then we have discussed about escape sequences for double backslash and backslash t, and we have also discussed about indexing, that if we start from the left we use from 0 and it will end at n-1, of course, as we have started with 0, and from the right if we start, it will start from -1 and it will go up to -n. And with indexing we can access the characters inside the string, and we can also character multiple times, multiple characters at a time, or any way we like, using slicing. And using slicing we can also reverse a string and maybe print alternative characters and etc like that. And we've also discussed that a string is immutable. We can't change using accessing the characters inside a string, but we can just reassign and just reassign the string and change it in that way. And we've also discussed some standard functions linking to strings, which is like upper, strip, replace, split, and length. And then we have discussed about using f strings in print statement, and what a character really is, from the lecture 1, linking it to the lecture 1 concepts. And we have done some questions. So in this lecture we are going to discuss about the conditional statements. First of all, we need to understand what is the fundamental need of conditional statements in the programming languages. You will see them in each and every programming language. So it's not something that we need to study in programming language. It is based on the real life scenarios, like when you need to do a task based on a decision. So like if you have some conditions, if your result is dependent on some conditions, where you would give only and only if there are some external dependencies, some objectives. So you need to code that, and you were needed to code that. So in that way, the conditional statements were made in programming languages, because they have a need. So for example, if we take voting system, only people who are adults can vote, right? So if he must vote, his age must be greater than 18, right? Greater than or equal to 18. In that way we will be using, if we need to code that, we will be using conditional statements. In conditional statements we have if statement and if else statement and etc. So we will be discussing about them now. The first statement is if statement. As you can see here, there is a way of writing syntax here. Let me just take you to VS Code and explain you. In Python, compared to other languages, Python's way of writing code is a little unique. In other languages you use brackets, braces and all, but in Python we need to do indentation very properly. So I have not discussed about indentation in the previous lectures at all. So indentation is a way of how you use spaces to make the code separable, right? So for example, if you use indentation to tell whether the loop or the if statement's body has ended or not, etc. So I'll be showing you. So if you need to do if you need to use if statement, so let me just create a scenario. Let's use the same scenario, like you need to check whether the person is greater than 18 and he can vote or not. Okay, so first let us take an age as an input, right? Age is equal to integer of, we need to change it as integer, right? The default data type of input prompt is string, so we'll be changing it into integer, as we will be taking only the age, which will be an integer. Enter your age. Okay, then we will be taking the age, and now we'll be using, so now the logic that we need to write is that if the person's age is greater than or equal to 18, then he can vote, or else he cannot vote, right? So we will write if is a keyword reserved in the Python language for its purpose, right? If. So now we can add some parenthesis if you want, and then you need to keep a hyphen telling that okay, this is the if statement. Now the body will start. When you click enter, see, defaultly the cursor was taken place a tab space away. So what is this? See here, expected indented block. So if whenever you keep a tab space away after the hyphen, it is the body of the if statement. So what you're saying is, if something inside this parenthesis is true, if it is 1, the value of it is 1, the switch is odd, it is true, then you do this task. The task is filled inside the body. So we are saying if the age is greater than or equal to 18, so this will result in a boolean true or false, right? This will result in boolean, it will be true or false. Then the body, what do we need it to do? If the age is greater than or 18, he can vote, right? So we will print to the user that you can vote. That's it. So this is how you use if statement. But what if he is not greater than 18, right? What if he is not greater than 18? Then there comes else statement. So if is not true, then there must be an opinion, an option, an extra option, right? For that we will have else statement. So for else you don't need any condition, right? If has already if has a condition with itself. So if this is true, it will print it. Otherwise, that's it. It will print the second thing despite anything. You may ask, if is the condition, then else should be inside a tab space and it will be inside, right? No, it will not be like that. This else is automatically understood that it is the part of this if. The else should come immediately after this else, right? Now we will be printing you cannot vote, right? So now let us try this code. So it is asking me to enter my age. I am 19. So it is saying you can vote. Okay, so this is how you use if and else statement. But what if you have one or more conditions? What will you do then? So now we have checked only one condition, that is if you're greater than or 18 or not. But if you have multiple conditions, like if they say if he is greater than 18, you do this, and if he is greater than, but if and another condition, if he is from another nation, you will take a nationality as an input, and if he is from another nation, he is greater than 18, but if he is another but his nationality is different, you do something like that. So if they give multiple conditions, what will you do? In that case we will get else if statement. Okay, let me just show you. So we have done the if statement, and we have discussed the importance of indentation. right? And we've discussed about the else statement. So now we're going to discuss about the else if statement. So the keyword in Python is elif. Elif is used as the else if logic. Elif is the keyword. So here they've given an example of grading system. So if the student's marks is greater than 90, greater than or equal to 90, the grade will be A. So now there are multiple conditions. It is greater than 90 to 100, there is one condition. If it's 80 to 90, there is another condition. If it's 70 to 80, there is another condition. Or else, that's just fail. That's the else condition. So there are three possible conditions. So first it will check if the grade is 8 A. If not, then it will go to else if the name has the answer. Else if the if statement is not satisfied, then you go to the next thing, else if. And if that is not satisfied, go to else if that is not satisfied, just he's failed, just give the grade F, like that. So, and next, truthness. Truthness and falseness is about, like we are talking about if, and we are filling parenthesis. In that we have a condition, and in that the if is satisfied when the parenthesis body has truth as its output. So something's when an expression's value is coming out to be 1 or non-zero, it is said to be true, right? And when it is not, when it is 0 or none, it is false, right? So whenever there is any non-zero number or any non-empty thing, so there's something. If there's something, it is true, and if there's nothing, then it's false. How can it be nothing? It can be 0, it can be none data type, it can be false, of course, as from boolean, and then this can be true, any non-zero number or any non-zero list tuple. It can be also anything. It can be, here it can be an empty dictionary, empty set, empty tuple, empty list, anything. Okay, so in that way we can do it. For example, here they filled an empty string, and they've used the if statement. So when it is empty, it is false, right? It cannot be true. So here the else body will be printed, name is empty will be printed. Okay, and we also use nesting, like when one condition is true, inside that condition you will check for other conditions. Like for example, there's this thing called, for example, you will give reservation to female students for a party. Okay, so the tables are reserved for females, and in that there is another condition, it will be used for only the females who are greater than 18. So first the if will be checked for if she is a female, and then inside that we will use another if which will check if the female is greater than 18 or not, if she is an adult or not, for the party, right? That is nesting. So that was the theory of the conditional statements. So these are the practice and warm-up questions. So try these 6 questions, and we will discuss them in 5 minutes, right? Yeah, okay. So I hope you have tried these questions, and we're going to start solving each one of them. So the first question is, read a number and print whether it's positive, negative, or zero. Right. So our program would be like, we will take an input from the user, which will be an integer, of course. Enter your number, and we'll be checking it if it is a positive, negative, or zero. So first let's check if it is, if we can use parenthesis, number is greater than 0. We are checking it to be positive first, then we will print it is positive. Okay, and so if it is positive, it will print here. If it is not positive, then it should be elif number equal to 0, then you print that 0, or else you can just print that it is negative. Right, I think this is it that we need. Yeah, I'm very sorry. See, this is the big basic rookie mistake that I've done here, that I have assigned 0 to number, right? That is not possible. We are checking if it's equal to, so it will be equal to, right? So now it will be asking for me to enter a number. Let us enter minus 88. So it will be giving me that the number is negative. Okay, so read someone's age and print adult if 18 or over, and otherwise minor. So we've checked this logic in the voting system one, right? Yeah, read a number and print whether it's even or odd. Use modulo from the operators lesson. Yes, okay, let's do this. So we should check if a number is odd or even. So a number will be either odd or even, right? So we can use one condition in if, and just another one we will just leave it for else, right? So let's check if a number is even, and keep the okay, I'm sorry, the mic was turned off. I hope you can hear my audio right now. Okay, till now I don't think the audio has come, but I've discussed two questions like a dumb man. So I was discussing that if a number is positive, negative, or 0, you just need to check it with if one elif, and the other one will go up to the else. And the second question was already been discussed, like if it is greater than 18, we'll be using an if, otherwise it will be else. And the third question that we're going to solve right now is that we will be taking an input from the user, a number, and we should be printing whether it's an even number or odd number. So for that, we know that in the numbers, every number is either an even or odd number, right? So if we check if it's even or odd with if statement, so for the next one we don't need to type the condition, it will be just in the else statement, right? So let's take a number int1 as integer of input, enter the number. Okay, and now if int1, now to check if a number is even, its remainder should be 0 when it is divided by 2, right? So when the given number is modulo divided by 2, the remainder should be 0 because it is divisible by 2. Every even number is divisible by 2. So the if statement checks if the number is even or not. Then we will print it. Your number is even, right? Or else we will print that your number is odd. So now let us run this code. Let's enter 7. The number is odd, and let us run again. This time let us click 8. So your number is even. Let us enter 0. Number is even. Okay. So the next question is turn a numeric score into a letter grade. So you can try this. We have discussed, right? Okay. Now we will be taking the marks as an input from the student and will be giving the grade system. So first let us create a variable marks and take an input from the user. Enter your marks. Now if the marks are greater than or equal to 90, enter your marks out of 100. Greater than or equal to 90, we will be telling that it's an A grade, right? A. Right. Now we will be using elif and then elif and then elif, and then at last we'll be using else for the failure of the using f grade. So in the between you can just use your conditions and do the question, right? I hope this question is easy. We already discussed this question during the theory, right? Now read a year and print whether it's a leap year. A leap year is divisible by 2 except years divisible by 100 unless also divisible by 400. Okay, this is interesting. A leap year. So let us take an year as an input from the user first. Enter the year to be checked. Now if and we'll be having a condition, and if that condition will be satisfied, we will be printing as leap year. If that condition is not satisfied, we will be printing that it is not a leap year. Okay. So what is this condition to check whether a year is leap year? A leap year should be divisible by 4 and not divisible by 100, or it should be divisible by 400. So in between there is an OR clause. So we will be first clicking in OR, and one condition in the right side, one condition in the left side. Right. Okay, so now it should be, year should be divisible by 400, right? That is one condition. If it's if an year is divisible by 400, it is directly a leap year, right? One more condition, the year should be divisible by 4 and the year should not be divisible by 100. So this is one more condition. And I forgot to add this equal to 0 to make it divisible by 4. So now the code needs to be running, and let us set an example 2000 oh sorry, not there, 2004 for example. Let's see, yeah, it is a leap year. Let us enter another random example, 1987. 1987, it is not a leap year. So this was the logic. So the number should be divisible by 400, or it should be divisible by 4 but not 100, right? I hope you've understood this. So now let's discuss some other questions from tracing. So here they've assigned that x is equal to 15, and they've asked what will be the output. So if x is greater than 10, print big, right? Okay, it will print big. Will it go to elif and else? And will it check x is greater than 5? So will it print both big and medium? No. Once the if statement is satisfied, that is done. So what is the purpose of elif? You are saying that if this is false, then else, if this is true, print this. So this is a second option, right? This is just an option. This is just a choice, right? Not guarantee. So first, if is satisfied in the first place, the interpreter wouldn't even go to elif and else to be checking it, right? That's the thing that you need to know. And now here they are asking what will be printed. The score is 75, so 90 will not be printed, and it will be going to here. Now else, if score is greater than or equal to 75, so here it is 75, it will be equal, so it will be printing B, and it won't be checking the rest of the conditions. Now write a program that reads a number using an input and print even or odd. We have done this. Now try this nested conditional and give the exact output. So we have an age as 20 and has ID as true. Okay, so now age is 20. If age is greater than or 18 is okay, this is true. So now the interpreter will go inside this if body. Okay, now there is another if body. So if has ID is true, so yes, it is true, so it will go to this inside body, it will go inside the body of this if. So now it will print entry allowed, so it wouldn't even check this else. So now this if body has been completed, it will come out to this if, and that was also completed, so this else is also terminated. So the answer would be entry allowed. This is how the underlying mechanism works. Now what is printed? Okay, y is hello, it's a string, it's non-zero value, and x is 0, so x would not print anything, so it will leave this body and go to elif and elif is no non-zero, it has some value, it has a string, so b will be printed here. Next, write a program that takes three numbers and as an input and prints the largest of the three using only if, elif and else. Okay, if, elif and else, we need to print the maximum of three numbers. So let us take an input first. Number 1 is equal to int of input, so the user will give me three inputs, right? Now if, now we need to write a condition. If n1 is greater than or equal to n2, so this number will be greater than this number, and if n1 is greater than or equal to n3, okay, so we took the inputs now, and we're going to check whether the which number is maximum from these three numbers. So we can do this method in two ways. As of what I can think, they'll be different. One, you can use only if statements and elif statements, and the other way is that using nested if statements. Okay, first we will be solving with only if and elif. So if, so if you use if and elif, right, what will you get? You'll write if for any one number, and then if that is not the number, you'll go to another elif statement and check for the second number, and you'll go to another elif statement and check for the third number, or you will just keep else in the last, right? So you'll use if, elif and else. If you want to do through nested if else, you'll just keep if for a number, and then inside it you'll check for the other two, and then like that you'll check for the nested if else. So I'll be solving by using both of the methods, so look into it, you can try it on yourself. So if n1 is greater than n2 and n1 is greater than n3, print n1, so n1 is maximum here. Or elif n2 is greater than n1 and n2 is greater than n3. So now in this case n3 is greater, right? I mean n2 is greater, right? We will print n2. So if these both are not greater, n3 should be greater, right? So we will print n3. So this is the logic for printing the maximum of three numbers using only if, elif and else. So if we need to use nested if statements here, how will we do that? So you think for 5 minutes, I'll be waiting. Yeah, okay, so I hope you have okay. Yeah, okay, so I hope you have tried it. So let us solve the question. So if n1 is greater than n2, right, we will come inside it. So now we know that n1 is already greater than n2, so n2 has no chance of being the greatest number, right? We remove that. And now if just in case n3 is greater than n1, we will print n3, or else we will print n1. So now that is over. elif so in this case n1 was greater than n2. Now we will check if n2 is greater than n1, and in that if n2 is greater than n1, n1 has no choice of being the greatest maximum number. So now if n3 is greater than n2, we will print n3, or else it will be just n2. Right, I think this is it. So we will press 1. I'm sorry. 1, 2 and 3. So maximum is 3. We got the output. Let us try 66 for 35 and 17 15. 66 is the maximum. So the logic is working as of what I know. If numbers are equal, then we need to keep one more thing. If all numbers are equal, elif n1 is equal to n2 is equal to n3, the numbers are equal, and in these numbers we can just put an equal to symbol for just in case if two numbers are equal. Yep, I hope this logic works. So this is how we can do this question. So I have some homework problems for you guys. So you can solve this 7th question, 6, 7 and 8 questions. 8 questions. I'll just wait for you. So what they're asking is that yeah, 6th question we have done just now. We are talking about 7th and 8th questions. Let me just discuss this 7th question. They have given temperature and humidity. So if temperature is greater than 25, yes, and humidity is greater than 70, yes, and there is an AND clause, so this is true, we will get a true here, and so it will go into this if statement and print this. So it will be hot and humid, and it will not even check these both things, right? Next, let me just solve the 9th one also. What does it print? Okay, and does the elif even get checked? Okay, let us see. Yeah, if x is greater than 5 and it's positive and it is true in the first thing, elif would not even get checked, right? If x is greater than 3, yeah, this will be checked, these both of them will be checked, but the elif won't even be checked, because it will be checked only and only if this statement is false, then this if elif will be checked. But these both are independent, right? This is an independent if statement and this is an independent if statement. That is the whole difference between if and elif. See, some people might have thought that like it purposes the it gives serves us the same purpose, right? Elif, instead of using elif we can use multiple if statements. What's the use of elif? We can just use ifs and at the last else, multiple ifs and at the last else. No, elif works only and only if the first if statement fails, right? So in this case these both are independent and then they'll always run, but this elif will only and only run if the above if statement fails, if it is false. Okay, so this 8th question is a homework for you. Try it yourself and then now and do this also. Try to program this text whether it's leap year. We have actually done this question, right? It's done. And here are some 4 questions for you guys, and try these questions on your own. Here they're asking that if a triangle is equilateral, isosceles or scalene. So let me just give you a hint. In equilateral triangle you will just keep if all the 3 sides are equal, and in isosceles if you will do if any one side is equal to the other side and the other last side will be different. I mean it will be something different from these both. And in scalene all of them will be different, right? In this the logic will be n1 is equal to n2 is equal to n3. In this it will be n1 is equal to n2 not equal to n3, and you'll be doing that for the 3 times, 3 checks, because any both of the sides can be equal, right? You can use nested if statements here to be quick. And then scalene will be very easy, like you'll just keep n1 not equal to n2 not equal to n3. If and only if it's true you'll get it as a scalene, right? An invalid triangle, you can find an invalid triangle. See, for a triangle to be valid, the sum of the 2 sides, any 2 sides in the 3 sides, must be always be greater than the 3rd side. So if it does not satisfy in any way, it will be an invalid triangle. And you can also take if any side, if any side is 0, then that is an invalid triangle. And if any side is negative, I mean we take user input, right? So you can use that thing, and you just solve this. I guess you guys will be able to do this 2, 3, 4, 5 as your homework. And if you get any doubt, please bother to message me in the comment section, and take a screenshot of this for 2, 3, 4, 5 and the 6th question too. Let me just discuss the 6th question. They are asking trace this deeply nested conditional first, then rewrite it to produce the same output using only single flat chain of elif statements. So let me just trace it. X is equal to 7 and y is equal to 3. This is true, went inside it. This is false, so this is not satisfied. It will go directly to the else statement and print D. Why? This if statement was false, right? No, I think I was wrong. Wait. I'm sorry. See, we have an if statement and an else statement. So is the if true? Yes, 7 is greater than 5, so if is true. So now we are inside the if statement, and this is the body. Inside the body we have another if statement, which is if y is greater than 5 but y is 3, it is not true, so it is false. So because this is false, we will go to the else statement. Okay, we are inside it, and inside the else statement there is another if statement, that if x is greater than y, yes, 7 is greater than 3, so it will print B. Yes, this is the answer. I am sorry for the error. So this is the answer. B will be printed. So yeah, and take the notes of this 7th and 8th questions. Take screenshot, and 9th question too. So if you have any doubts, please comment down and I'll be messaging you. I guess that is it for today, and thank you